After the age of 50, something very subtle begins to happen inside the human body. It is not a sudden illness. It is not a dramatic breakdown. It is a slow biological shift that most people never see coming. Your body begins to operate in a constant, low-level state of inflammation. And here is what makes this dangerous. You don't feel it directly at first, but it quietly changes everything. Your energy drops. Your muscles recover slower. Fat begins to store more easily, especially around the abdomen. And even sleep stops feeling restorative. But what most people never realize is this. Inflammation is not just a side effect of aging. It is often the control switch behind it. And once you understand this mechanism, the entire story of aging begins to look very different. Before we go deeper, I want you to stay with me until the end of this video, because in the next few minutes, I am going to explain something that most people over 50 never hear from their doctor. Something that may completely change how you understand inflammation, energy loss, and muscle decline with age. This is Dr. Richard, and what you are about to learn is not theory. It is based on how your biology actually works. Inside the hidden mechanism of aging. Inside your body, inflammation is controlled by chemical messengers called cytokines. Think of them as emergency alarm signals. In short bursts, they are essential. They help you heal injuries, fight infections, and repair damage. But when these signals stay active for too long, they stop being helpful. They start interfering with normal function. Research from institutions such as the NIH, Harvard Medical School, and the Mayo Clinic has consistently linked chronic low-grade inflammation to reduced muscle protein synthesis, increased insulin resistance, slower metabolism, and delayed recovery after physical activity. Now let's simplify this. Muscle protein synthesis is your body's ability to rebuild and grow muscle. When inflammation blocks this process, your muscles stop responding to exercise the way they used to. Insulin resistance means your cells stop using sugar efficiently for energy. So instead of energy going into your muscles and brain, it gets stored as fat. This is why so many people after 50 say the same thing. I am doing everything right, but my body is not responding anymore. And biologically, that statement is often correct. Why everything feels harder after 50. To understand this properly, we need to look deeper. After 50, three major systems in the body begin to shift. First, mitochondrial efficiency declines. Mitochondria are your cellular power plants. They produce energy in the form of ATP. When they slow down, fatigue becomes more common. Second, inflammation signaling becomes more persistent. Instead of turning on and off like a switch, it stays slightly active all the time. And third, recovery hormones, such as growth hormone and testosterone, gradually decline. Together, these changes create what scientists sometimes call a recovery gap. This is the gap between effort and result. You exercise, but recover slowly. You eat better, but fat loss slows down. You rest, but still feel tired. And over time, this creates frustration. Because from the outside, it looks like discipline is not working. But inside the body, the system is no longer responding the same way. The real problem is not motivation. At this stage, most people try to fix the wrong thing. They increase cardio. They reduce calories. They add random supplements. But they are treating the symptoms, not the system. Because the real issue is not effort. It is biological resistance caused by inflammation and recovery breakdown. And this is where modern research becomes very interesting. Instead of looking for one magic solution, scientists are now studying how multiple repair systems in the body interact. And when these systems are supported together, something important happens. The body starts responding again. The 5 biological repair systems. Let's break this down into 5 key systems that influence aging metabolism. These are not 5 supplements. These are 5 biological functions that determine how your body behaves after 50. System 1. Structural and joint inflammation control. One of the first signs of aging imbalance is stiffness. Knees, lower back, shoulders. This is not just wear and tear. It is also linked to changes in connective tissue and inflammatory activity. Certain nutrients found in food and protein metabolism pathways are involved in maintaining joint structure and comfort. When inflammation in these areas decreases, mobility improves. And when mobility improves, people naturally move more. And that alone has a powerful effect on metabolism, circulation, and fat balance. System 2. Sleep and nighttime repair. Sleep is not just rest. It is a biological repair state. During deep sleep, the body regulates inflammation, repairs tissues, and resets hormonal balance. Research shows that poor sleep quality is directly linked to higher inflammation levels and increased fat storage. This is why sleep disruption after 50 often leads to faster fatigue and slower recovery. When sleep improves, everything else improves with it. System 3. Nutrient processing and oxidative stress. As we age, the body becomes less efficient at absorbing and utilizing nutrients. At the same time, oxidative stress increases. Oxidative stress is essentially cellular aging caused by unstable molecules damaging tissues over time. Antioxidant-rich foods and nutrient-dense natural sources help the body manage this stress more effectively. This does not stop aging, but it supports cellular resilience and repair capacity. System 4. Structural protein regeneration. One of the biggest changes after 50 is the decline of collagen and structural proteins. These proteins support skin, joints, tendons, and muscle integrity. Studies in sports nutrition suggest that collagen peptides may support connective tissue repair when combined with adequate protein intake and resistance training. But there is an important detail here. Protein alone is not enough. The body also needs a low inflammation environment to actually use those building blocks effectively. Otherwise, repair remains incomplete. System 5. Cellular energy restoration. At the center of everything is energy. Every heartbeat, every step, every thought requires ATP. One of the most researched compounds in exercise science, creatine monohydrate, supports the recycling of ATP in both muscle and brain tissue. Studies show it may improve strength, endurance, and cognitive performance, especially in older adults. But more importantly, it improves energy availability at the cellular level. When energy improves, fatigue decreases. When fatigue decreases, activity increases. And when activity increases, metabolic health begins to improve naturally. Now here is the key insight. None of these systems work alone. They are all connected in a loop. Inflammation affects sleep. Sleep affects recovery. Recovery affects muscle. Muscle affects metabolism. And metabolism feeds back into inflammation. So when someone says, "My body feels stuck," what they are often experiencing is not failure. It is system imbalance. There is no single powder, capsule, or shortcut that reverses aging. But when inflammation is reduced and recovery systems are supported, the body often begins to respond again. Not instantly, not dramatically, but gradually in measurable biological steps. Energy improves, movement feels easier, recovery becomes faster, and body composition begins to shift more naturally. Important medical note. This content is based on general nutritional and clinical research. It is not medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Anyone with existing medical conditions or taking medication should consult a qualified healthcare professional before making changes. The real question is not what the best supplement is. The real question is what is blocking your body from responding in the first place. Because once you understand that mechanism, you stop fighting your body and start working with it again. If you found this explanation valuable, make sure you subscribe to Dr. Richard for more science-based insights into aging, inflammation, and long-term health. And share in the comments what changes you have noticed in your energy, recovery, or strength. This is Dr. Richard. Stay informed and take care of your biology.